Hey everyone, it's Trey with Doggone Overlanders. Thanks for tuning back in. Working on a little modification today, and I can honestly say this is a modification that I certainly wasn't planning on making, and honestly, I'm not too excited about it. Now, you're probably wondering, well, if that's the case, then why do it? It is out of necessity, okay? And what are we working on today? Well, good old controversial wheel spacers. Now, these things do get a bad rap, and rightfully so. It's like so many other things out there. You get what you pay for, and correct installation is key. So these are from Spider Tracks. This is 6061 T6 billet aluminum. These are machined out of one piece of aluminum stock, and they are also concentric, which means that they are perfectly sized to fit to the hub of the Toyota. Now, besides just the two wheel spacers that come in the box, you also get the necessary hardware to secure them properly. Most importantly, you get instructions that are very specific in your torque specifications and how to install these. This is the one time you absolutely want to read the instructions, okay? And of course, last but not least, you get another sticker. So if I don't want to do this, then why the heck am I doing it? Why have I spent money on high quality parts like these if I don't want to do it? And the simple fact is, some miscalculation on my part when it came to my method wheels, and the fact that these new Cooper tires are rubbing pretty badly on the JBA upper control arms. Now, rubbing of the fender well, we all kind of expect that when we go to a bigger tire size, and I certainly had that. And I did some chopping of the plastic fender liner, even went a step further and did a body mount chop. So alleviated that problem. But the one problem that did not alleviate or could not account for was the inside of the tire rubbing on the upper control arms. And on both sides, it's rubbing pretty significantly, enough that I'm worried about damage to the tires, potentially damage to the control arms, and I don't want either one of those to happen. So what I should have done, what I wish I had done if I had it to do over again, was get the method wheels that had the negative offset. That would have most likely taken care of this problem. And I wouldn't be faced with this dilemma. But that's not what I got. I bought the ones with the zero offset, thinking that the tire size that I was going with was not going to be big enough to cause this problem. Once again, I was wrong. So here we are. At least there is a fix for the problem, and it's a pretty simple fix. So I already have the truck jacked up. All the lug nuts are loose. Now, while I'm in the process of doing this, we're going to go ahead and do a couple other things. We're going to go ahead and do a tire rotation. It's a little bit early for it, but that's not going to hurt anything. I'm going to put my fifth tire, my spare, into the rotation. So we're going to move all the tires around. And when we do that, then we're going to have to also reprogram the TPMS sensors. So I'll show you how I do that as well. This is not really an instructional how-to video. This is just me explaining what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. I'm going to show you some of the process, but as you can imagine, you already know, if you're interested or thinking about putting spacers on your vehicle, there are plenty of videos out there about how to do that, and most importantly, how to do it correctly and safely, okay? Now, this, like many other things, is one of those buy one, cry once type of things. Or is it? Because reality is, if you don't buy good quality spacers, and if you don't put them on correctly, you may be crying a whole lot more when you're driving down the road and a wheel literally comes off your truck. That can be disastrous not only for you, for your truck, but for other people out on the roadway. So please, absolutely keep this in mind. If you're going to put spacers on your vehicle, do it right. Okay, I didn't realize that my microphone was not connected and recording, so here I'm following the manufacturer's instructions to apply plenty of red Loctite and then torque each bolt down to 90 foot-pounds. All right, all four wheels are back on, nice and snug. Spacers are torqued to 90 foot-pounds. I did the same thing with the tires. Just went ahead and torqued them to the same 90 foot-pounds. Did not use an impact gun. Now, one step left in the process. I now have to reprogram the computer as to where each tire is located as far as the TPMS sensors. And since I had that fifth tire that was my spare that is now in the rotation, I have to program the computer to that TPMS sensor. Now, how am I going to do that? With this handy little device. This is the Autel Maxi TPMS sensor, okay? And this is what will scan the code for each TPMS sensor, and then we'll hook this up to the truck and do a TPMS relearn for the computer. Let me show you. Super simple. All right, we will power up the device. Hopefully you can see the screen okay. Once it boots up, we are simply going to go into the advanced mode. Going to verify that the vehicle is in fact a Toyota Tacoma, and the year model are as far as the range of year that it was manufactured. All right, options are a TPMS diagnose, program an individual sensor, or position relearn. That's what we want. We're going to do a number one, a OBD relearn. Clear the previous data. We'll say yes. So now it's going to tell us that make sure the vehicle is in park. The TPMS sensors are installed correctly. The tires are at the proper inflation. And then we will start with the left front tire. To program, you simply aim the device at the TPMS sensor and press the little Wi-Fi looking button. And there we go. Just like that. One TPMS sensor down. Now it's telling me to go to the other side. So we'll do all four tires, but we got one more. Okay, I've now scanned all four tires that are currently on the vehicle, and the device has even prompted me, is there a spare that has a TPMS sensor? And there is. So we will make the correct selection here, which is basically the options are if there is not a spare tire that you want to program, you simply click yes, okay, to advance to the next step, or you click no for cancel, and it will go back into the scan mode where you can scan that fifth tire. So that's what we'll do. All right, now it's telling us next step is to connect the device to the OBD port of the vehicle. Once you're plugged into the OBD port, simply turn the vehicle into the on position. Now we're communicating with the vehicle. Writing sensor ID to the ECU. Write successful. Please proceed with the following steps until the OBD relearn is successful. Okay. OBD relearn successful. Okay. And there we have it. Now the computer has relearned where the tires are and what sensor is in what location, including the spare. Now, if you're like me, you're probably thinking, well, that seems a bit excessive, and I bet that device isn't cheap, and you would be correct. This device retails for about $280 on Amazon. No, I'm not sponsored. I pay full price for this device. Why did I do that? Well, I want to be able to do a true 5-tire rotation. If you've made the investment to have 5 tires and wheels that are all the same, then it's worth it to put that spare in the rotation and get full use out of it. When you do that, though, you need this device to reprogram those TPMS sensors. Without this, your only option then is to go to either your local dealership or perhaps a tire place that can reprogram your sensors. Now, I found out somewhat the hard way that with most of your tire stores, their programmer is only good for the type of TPMS sensor that they sell. And they're usually in a contract with some specific vendor to sell only those sensors for new tires. So don't think you're going to be able to go up to just any tire store and get them to reprogram your TPMS sensors. They may be able to, they may not be able to. And certainly if they are able to, well, they're going to charge you for it. So how many 5-tire rotations does it take, and your time, and most importantly, your money, to go get this reprogramming done before this starts to make sense? So it made a lot of sense to me. I went ahead and got it, and I'm certainly glad that I did. Now, according to the instructions from SpiderTrack, after 50 miles, which is not very far, of course, We're going to recheck everything, make sure everything's still nice and tight and to the specified torque settings. So as far as the installation of the SpiderTrak wheel spacers and this 5-tire rotation, well, that's done. Really not a lot to it. So that's going to wrap up this video. I appreciate you tuning in. Hope you got something out of it. If you are thinking about putting spacers on your vehicle, it's not a bad idea. Just make sure, again, you do it right. Do it. Be safe about it. If you're wanting to do your own 5-tire rotations, this is the way to get it done. So hope you enjoyed. Stay safe out there. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.